Okay, hello everyone and welcome. Welcome. How you doing? DSP here. Live. We're doing it live, ladies and gents. That's right, it's time for today's gameplay stream. And today is Tuesday, new release day, October 25th, 2016. How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? I'm excited for today, because indeed it is a new release day. I'm always pumped for new release days. Love checking out new games for the first time with you live here on the stream. Or, of course, if you are watching this video on demand on YouTube, welcome as well. I appreciate that. Today, it is the premiere of Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. And I'm excited. Listen, 2 years ago, it was actually, I remember, I think it was around February or March of 2014. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 1 released. Now, this was a game that I didn't know much about at the time. And I had been a fan of Dragon Ball in the past. I had watched the entire Dragon Ball Z series. And I'd actually seen Dragon Ball GT, which I hated. And when I played this game, I thought it was pretty good. You create your own character. You're going through this what-if scenario. If there were these time-traveling villains who were trying to change the plot line of the Dragon Ball games, right? And you basically have to go through time kind of fixing what they screwed up. And I definitely enjoyed it. I thought it was quite fun. It was a pretty good experience. It was something completely different, because usually I don't play this style of game, right? And these anime-style games I had not played many of. I think it's really only Naruto and Dragon Ball are the only two major series that I've really played the games for. Okay. So, it was really good. And, you know, it was something different outside of my comfort zone. People seemed to really enjoy the playthrough because it was something so different. Now, things have changed between then and now. You know, 2.5 years, a lot changed. I've moved across the country. I live with my girlfriend now. And this year, as we were looking for something to kind of watch as we relax at night after my busy workday, I said, you know, we could watch these classic animes that, you know, I watched when I was younger. And it's been a long time since I've seen Dragon Ball Z, that's for sure. And I've actually never seen the original Dragon Ball, so we ended up buying the actual DVDs, which are pretty cheap. If you're interested in getting them, I actually don't recommend that you get them like on demand, because we were getting them through Amazon Prime on demand. It's their Amazon video service, and it was pretty pricey to get them on demand, so we stopped doing that, and we ended up going to Amazon and just buying the DVDs for cheap. Because it's funny, a lot of people actually say, oh, I want it on Blu-ray, right? I want HD. We've seen the HD versions. They look the same as the regular DVD versions. Like, no lie. If you just get the DVDs from a few years ago that they remastered the visuals, they look exactly the same. There's almost no difference at all. Keep in mind that Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z were not drawn in, like, a high-definition quality to begin with. So, in a lot of ways, it doesn't make sense to even spend extra money. Just get the El Cheapo DVDs off of Amazon, which is what we did. And we've been watching both series, the original and the Dragon Ball Z series. So, I'm pretty up on the lore of Dragon Ball. And then in addition to that, there's been a new game that came out this year, a mobile game called Dokkan Battle, which is another kind of what-if scenario. You have all the characters from all the different Dragon Ball series, including the new one, Dragon Ball Super, which we have not seen yet, and it just kind of combines them into this mishmash combat game. So, I have pretty much been, you know, really in tune with Dragon Ball over the past year, okay? So, this will be a different experience. I'll definitely recognize most of the characters and all of that. The only thing I'm not going to get is if there are references to Dragon Ball Super. I am aware that, like, there's now Super Saiyan God, Goku, and Vegeta and all that. But I have not watched, like, Resurrection F or Battle of the Gods. And keep in mind, the Battle of the Gods characters were in the last game. But I haven't watched any of that yet, because we want to get through the originals before I move on to the more modern stuff. And the bottom line is there is no Americanized version of those yet, right? Like, there's no American DVD set of Dragon Ball Super or whatever that's been sold yet. So we're kind of waiting for that before we get caught up with it, okay? So, yeah, thank you for being here for the premiere of Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. I'm looking forward to this game. This will be a game that I'm going to be playing over the course of this week, alright, starting today, and it's going to be my major stream probably for a few days here, okay? The only way that I wouldn't do this as my major stream is if for some reason it ends up not being as good as the first one, which I don't foresee happening. I would think it's just as good, if not better, than the first one with some improvements and stuff. So I guess we'll see. We will see for ourselves how it turns out. But I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a great game and a good playthrough for this week, okay? So, that's going to be the deal. Today will be Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 here on my gameplay stream. Later tonight, I'm going to do a mini review of the Dark Souls 3 Ashes of Ariandel DLC for KO Gaming. I'm going to talk about the DLC and the different things in it for those, because that's the other new release for today, but I've already played it. Yeah, I would have balanced today as those two games, but I've already played it because it was leaked by Microsoft last week because they're idiots. So I already played it this weekend. So I'll be reviewing that tonight for KO Gaming. So head over to KO Gaming tonight to check that out. Tomorrow will be more Dragon Ball, and I'll probably balance it with maybe some Battlefield or something. And then I'm going to start working on my Battlefield review. So this will be a good week. Now, the elephant in the room. There's two elephants in the room that I want to address. First of all, also today, what was released was Batman, the Telltale series, episode 3. Okay. Now, let's talk here. I would love to play it. I have liked the Dragon. I have liked the Batman Telltale series up to now. I've liked everything about it, okay? But it's just shitty release timing. I mean, they released it during a week here where there's a lot of stuff going on, and I much rather would play Dragon Ball this week than drop everything to try to play this episode of Batman. And the bottom line is I have other stuff to do. I have to work on this stuff for KO Gaming and stuff. So I am going to play this Batman episode. I'm just not going to play it now, okay? I'm going to hold on to it, and more than likely, maybe next week, I'll play it. We'll see how timing goes, and if I do have a chance between now and next week, maybe I'll play it. But I'm holding off on Batman for now. It's going to happen, just not immediately, okay? Number 2, the big undecided thing for me right now is this Friday, okay? This Friday, if you're not aware, is the release of Titanfall 2. And a lot of people are interested in this game. A lot of people are saying, Phil, are you going to be playing Titanfall 2? For a few reasons. Number 1, because for the first time it has a campaign. The first game didn't have a campaign. It was highly criticized for not having a campaign. And the bottom line was that the game only had multiplayer, leading most people to be bored with the game after like 2 weeks because you've seen everything in the multiplayer. Okay? Number 2, because the multiplayer has vastly improved gameplay, supposedly. Although, I don't know. I mean, I played the beta. And when I played the beta, I thought it kind of played like the first game, only there were grappling hooks. Now, in a rare turn, okay, I was good at the beta. If you see my gameplay of the Titanfall 2 beta, I actually did pretty well. And a lot of people were surprised at that, because typically with these first-person shooter-style games, I don't do that well, but I was doing really well in the beta. And people were like, gee, I wonder if Phil will play the final game since he seems like he's good at it, right? So, I don't know. I'm on the fence, okay? The thing is, there's so many first-person shooters, man. Like, think about it. There's already Battlefield 1, right? Then there's Titanfall 2. The week after, there's Infinite Warfare, which, by the way, I've already said this a million times. I'm not playing Infinite Warfare, okay? I'm not playing Infinite Warfare. I'm skipping Call of Duty this year. I'm putting my foot down. I'm being very, very stern about this. I am not going to waste my time with Call of Duty this year, period. I'm just not, okay? So that being said, I still am worried that if I buy this game for $60 and I play through the campaign, I do the multiplayer, is anyone going to care? Because I'm nervous that people will be like, well, it's just another first-person shooter, one of 3 new ones in 3 weeks, and the market's too crowded. So, there you go. That's the deal, is that I don't know. I'm interested in Titanfall 2. I certainly would have time to play it because all of next week, since I'm not playing Call of Duty, is going to be free for me. But I don't want to get into something that people might not be interested in, alright? So I don't know. So I'm still on the fence. I'm going to be thinking about this all week, alright? I'm going to be thinking about this all week. And by the end of the week, I will have decided if I'm going to be playing Titanfall 2 or not, okay? Some people have been mentioning Skyrim Remaster this week, which, yes, I am aware that it comes out this week. There is no chance I'm playing that. I mean, let's face it. Skyrim is one of the most complete playthroughs I've ever done ever for YouTube. I played the living hell out of the game over the course of the entire month of December that year that it released. My playthrough's over 300 parts. It is my longest running playthrough ever for YouTube, Skyrim. Okay? And I just don't see any reason to go back. It's the same game. It's not like, oh, there's all this new content. There's not. It's the same game. Oh, and by the way, when I played Skyrim, the original time, I played it on my PC, which ran the game at a much higher and better graphics than the consoles would have. So I already kind of got the ideal Skyrim experience. Playing the remaster, I'm not going to be having any better graphics than the first time I played it. And I'm not going to see anything new. There's no reason for me to play Skyrim again. Okay? So. Ooh, stretch for a second. Oh. There we go. And that made me yawn. I stretched and it made me yawn. So, the bottom line is there's no reason for me to play Skyrim again, and I'm not going to be doing it. Alright? Alright, so, before we adjourn and I begin with Dragon Ball, I have something interesting to say in regards to a little bit of an update in regards to what's been going on recently for those who haven't been paying attention. Okay? The other day, 2 days ago, on my pre-stream and as well as on my weekend preview video, I basically gave you some inside look behind the scenes of my YouTube business. Now, I don't do this all the time, but I do it every once in a while when I feel it's important. And the bottom line is, what I revealed is that things aren't going so well. They're just not. Typically what happens, for me, for my business, is that during the summertime months, it slows down because there's not a lot of new game releases, right? It's a very slow time of the year for gaming, and usually I do downtime projects, and this year was no different. It was pretty much the same, where I did downtime projects and the like. And then, when late August, September hit, I started covering what was new, but in particular, this year, there wasn't a lot of high-profile new releases coming out that early. Most of the high-profile new releases actually started this month, the month of October. So, things have been really slow with my business, and I was just sitting here in the hopes that things were going to turn around and pick up. And the thing is, every year they do. Every single year that I've done YouTube, since the very beginning, they do. Every year in this fall gaming season, when I start covering the new releases, I get new people coming by, checking out the playthroughs, checking out the streams. I get this big boost in viewership, and because of that, also a big boost in income at the end of the year, which is good. It's something that I need at the end of the year because I have my taxes that I have to pay, obviously the holidays and stuff, and getting that big boost allows me to pay down my bills a lot, a lot of the debt that I have for moving across the country. It's just something it's good and it's necessary, all right, to my business to have this boost. This year I'm not getting it. All of a sudden, I've obviously been following all of my statistics and analytics and all the data on YouTube and everything. And for whatever reason, I have no idea what it is, I have not seen any kind of an increase to my business this month. Even though I've been covering all the new stuff, I spent a ton of money on new games and equipment. In fact, already this month I spent over $1,000 on new games and equipment. Okay? And I'm not seeing the increase that I usually get. I'm just not. And I don't know what it is because, as I revealed the other day, this is not new news, I revealed this 2 days ago, all the information on YouTube, all the analytics and data say that I'm doing everything right. It says that my likes are way up. It actually said I have 33% more likes this month than usual. So, 1/3 of the people watching are liking my stuff much better, right? It says the engagement's up. People are watching my videos and streams for much longer than they used to. It says that likes and shares are up, or not likes, shares are up, and overall kind of just activity around my videos. Dislikes are down, okay? So what this is telling me is that everyone is enjoying what I'm doing, and everyone is liking the stuff that I'm putting out on YouTube. And so I'm doing a good job, according to what YouTube's telling me, but my views are down and my revenue's down. I'm like, what? How is that possible? How could you be doing everything right? Everything is up, except for views and revenue. Everything else, it's like, what? Are you crazy? And this is the first year, honestly, where I'm based off of an ad revenue contract, okay? So, sadly, I'm already making less money because ad revenues on YouTube aren't what they used to be, okay? And obviously, even though I'm not making money directly tied to views anymore, obviously views have to do with the revenue, because the less people who watch, the less people are watching ads, and the less money I make. So I'm nervous. I am really nervous about this whole situation, okay? So, sadly, it's not much I could do about it, you know? I've been getting feedback for the past 2 days or so in regards to all this going on, okay? And it is what it is, you know? I don't know how I could control it. I don't know how I can improve it, because I don't know what's causing it. All the data and everything is pointing to positivity. In fact, I will tell you this. I think this year's been one of the best, most positive years I've ever been on YouTube. There's been, like, no negative drama and bullshit for the most part, besides a few key moments that kind of fizzled out and really didn't amount to much of anything, right? I mean, think about it. I got verified on Twitter, which was awesome. I have this partnership with Loot Crate that's working out, right? I got all this positive stuff going on. Everyone's talking to me now, interacting with me in social media, and everything's going well. So how is it that my business is down? It doesn't even make sense. And this is the first time ever that I've done YouTube that I'm not getting any kind of an increase during this hardcore gaming season. And I'm scratching my head like, what the fuck? Is it that YouTube really has buried me so far in their search results that no one sees my videos and no one checks them out because I'm so buried? I don't know. So it's baffling to me, because when I'm being told I'm doing everything right and things are down, there's not much I can do about it, right? It sucks. But anyway, the reason I'm bringing this up is because I do want to say thank you to those of you who went out of your way to send me positive feedback, to send me positivity, to send me constructive criticism on ways that I can improve, all right? But in particular, people listened when I said, listen, one of the big ways that you can help me is Patreon, okay? A lot of people, I'm talking probably a large dozens, more than dozens, pledged to my Patreon for the first time. And a few people actually who are ongoing pledgees upped their pledges. Now, obviously, here's the thing. I don't know if this is going to be a one-time thing where these people are pledging once just because they feel bad and they want to help out, and then it's going to go away. Because the bottom line is, that's nice, and that's very much appreciated, but that's not going to solve things. You know what I mean? The way the Patreon works is that you have ongoing people who sub every month to it and pledge every month to it, and that becomes consistent income, okay? Now, ever since I've done Patreon, I've had a goal of $1,250 a month. And by the way, my goal is still $1,250 a month, but Patreon doesn't show that anymore because they screwed the website up, and now it says it's like $1,025. The truth is, if it says that and I hit that goal, I'm getting around $1,250, okay? Or at least that's what it is before they take out all their fees and all of that. So, I've never changed my goal since I started on Patreon early last year. So, it's been consistent. I've been getting that amount. But the problem is now all my other income's going down, all right? So, the good news is a lot of people pledged, and it's very helpful. And I want to say thank you to those who pledged, and thank you to those who are thinking of pledging. By the way, you still have 6 days left to pledge for this month to get in on the perks for this month, and also to be able to nominate and vote on indie games that I'll be playing in late November during the Indie Games event, which it looks like will definitely be happening. The only way it can't happen is if like a ton of people out of nowhere withdraw their pledges before they're charged on the 1st of November, which I don't foresee that happening. It would have to be like $80 to $100 worth of people withdrawing their pledges, and I don't think that's going to happen, okay? So, more than likely, we are definitely going to be doing this Indie Games Marathon, okay? So, it's great, and thank you to those who did pledge. But I just want to let you know, we're not out of hot water at all. You know, this first of all, might be a one-time thing where people are just pledging just to help temporarily. Okay, a lot of people upped their pledges, and I get the feeling they won't be keeping those increased pledges. It's just for this month. It's like I said, the best way for Patreon to work out is for a lot of people to give a little bit. If 1,000 people gave me $1 a month on Patreon, in addition to the other people that already are pledging, you know, I'd be making, what, $2,000 a month on Patreon? That would be a significant increase, and that would definitely help with all the hardships I'm going through on YouTube right now. But the bottom line is, I don't have 1,000 people giving a buck, you know? I have, like, 50 to 80 people, maybe. So, it adds up. That's the thing. That dollar for you. The dollar for you that you probably give as a tip somewhere, or you buy a pack of gum, or you burn it on something crappy, that dollar doesn't mean a lot as just a dollar. But it adds up for me. And it adds up for anyone who uses Patreon. That's the deal, is that's how it works. It's crowdfunding, really, when you think about it. So, if you like what I'm doing on YouTube, you're enjoying these live streams, you like the coverage of new games, you like the on-demand videos and reviews, you like everything I've been doing and I've done this year, please consider pledging. Okay? Because it really does help. And if I can, you know, that was great that I got the one day a giant spike in pledgees. If I could get that kind of activity every day, oh my God, I would, like I said the other day, I would never have to worry about YouTube views or ad revenue or any of this shit ever again. You'd never have to hear me talk about it again because I'd have that massive amount of support from Patreon. You know what gets me? And I'll be honest here. These YouTubers and these streamers who already get millions of views on their fucking videos, hundreds of thousands to millions of views, and they still have a Patreon. It's not enough. It's not enough dirty, filthy YouTube money. Now they need more money from you too, right? And these people make ridiculous amounts of money. I've seen people who make like $10,000 a month or more from Patreon when they already make insane amounts of money from the videos they're putting out. Do you really think that money's going to good use? I'm just saying. For me, it's going to pay my fucking bills. It's going to allow me to keep doing this full time. And I really mean this when I say it. If things don't turn around one way or another, whether it's YouTube views and ad revenue go up or Patreon gets a giant spike monthly, then I'm not going to be able to do this anymore. Okay? We're kind of at the point where it's the breaking point. So please, consider pledging to Patreon if you haven't, especially if you're one of the people who are around for this stuff all the time and you enjoy watching it. That's the way you can ensure that it's going to happen in the long term. And special thanks to those who did come out of their comfort zone, you know, went out of their way to pledge to my Patreon for the first time and or increase their pledges in the past day or so. I really do appreciate that. Okay? All right. So, let's go ahead and very quickly just run down everything and then get started. Obviously, I already mentioned Loot Crate. If you check out the description of any of my videos, you'll see a referral link and discount code where you can save 10% for any new Loot Crate subscription. I unbox Loot Crate every month on my vlogging channel, The King of Hate Vlog, so give it a look if you haven't yet. And if you like that kind of stuff, I think you'll enjoy getting your own Loot Crate subscription. I get a little bit of referral credit, by the way, if you use that. So thank you very much for that, and please continue to use the code, because it does help out, okay? Twitter, @TheyCallMeDSP, please follow me there. KO Gaming, I already mentioned. It's where I'm doing game reviews and stuff. Last week, I reviewed Mafia 3 and the PSVR. Tonight, I'll be talking about the Dark Souls 3 DLC, Ashes of Ariandel, and later this week, I'll be doing Battlefield 1, okay? Patreon, I already mentioned. Don't need to mention that again. You can see it right here. Patreon.com/DarkSidePhil. 6 days left to get in on pledging for this month and being part of the perks and the event of the indies and all of that. Okay? And my girlfriend has her own business, The Black Current, where she sells handmade glycerin soaps and wax tart melts. Please consider, at the very least, just check the website out. You know what I mean? You're going to see tons of positive feedback from customers who've tried out her stuff and absolutely love it. Now is the time to start thinking about holiday gift giving, okay? Holidays are coming up, and I actually believe that she will be very shortly running a sale. Hint, hint. So, we're coming towards the end of the month. She's looking for a little bit of a boost, right? And you may be hearing a little bit about a sale in the future on the Black Current, her business, okay? All right. Alright, folks. That is pretty much it for the pre-stream. I thank you for being patient and listening. Again, thank you for the support. I very much appreciate all the positivity and support. Okay? And, thank you. And, hopefully, like I said, if we can get more people pledging to Patreon to make it happen, and I could get a big increase in income from Patreon, then it might not matter. This negativity and the low views and all that might not matter. It may work out in the long run, all right? But we'll see. Let's play it by ear and we'll see. We're not out of the woods yet, but thank you to those who are trying to help. All right. That's it, everyone. Let's end the pre-stream. Let's start with Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. Here we go.